Right here at Merritt College.
Right here at Merritt College in the Landscape Horticulture Department. In the mushroom cultivation class, we teach the two basic ways that you can grow mushrooms in general, and that is you can grow them by sterile techniques, laboratory style, but in your home kitchen. And you can go as extreme as you want or as loose as you want, chef style. Or you go outside and just be a regular gardener and grow them organically in your garden just like any other plant. Very easy and simple to do. So what we have here is the beginnings of a raised bed. And if you want to have a nice protected one from gophers, first thing you do is clear out the territory, lay down some bird wire to protect it from gophers, and then set on top of the bird wire all of your logs that are going to make the raised bed. Every one of those logs can be plugged with a different kind of mushroom to grow out from the log, and inside you fill it with compost to grow your plants. And on top of the compost you put mulch, and in the compost you can have the roots of the plants along with compost mushrooms. In the mulch you can have mulch mushrooms growing in there. Plant your plants, they will provide a humidity cover for the whole thing, so you can have a mushroom garden in addition to having a regular old vegetable garden. Both of them can be in exactly the same territory, and in permaculture we call that stacking the functions. So what we have here is our mushroom growing territory. We do all kinds of outdoor laboratory experiments here, and one of the experiments we've done is making a straw bale igloo made of parts that are all edible to the mushroom. So what we have is straw that's raw cellulose. What we have here is burlap that's also raw cellulose that's made from fibers of plants. It provides a humidity cover over the whole thing, so when you want to sprinkle it, you just wet the burlap and then it provides humidity underneath that so the wind doesn't blow the humidity away. And not only that, we have Excelsior here, which happens to be packaging material made of shredded up aspen or alder trees. And so you see here, shiitake is growing right in the humidity layer. You can see that this is a good edible mushroom. It's a little bit past prime on here, and these are a little younger. This one has got a bad spot on there. We just cut that out, just like you would do on an apple. The rest of it's going to be really edible. This is right here is a shaggy mane mushroom. They grow wild on campus. If you slice this mushroom open in half, you can look on the inside of the mushroom. This mushroom hasn't started to decay at all. This is a very good eating mushroom. So if you look right here, it's hollow, and here it's hollow, and right here you can see this little kite string in the middle of this mushroom. That is a distinctive characteristic of the shaggy mane mushroom. And so you know that you have the right mushroom when you slice it open. What we often do in class is we go out, we have so many wild mushrooms in this territory, it's great. We just go out and find the wild mushroom growing right here on campus. We collect it. In this particular case, you can collect the top of that mushroom. The ones that are still in good condition for eating, you can collect those, chop them up and cook them in class. Some part of class will be cooking and part of the class is going to make slurries. They collect the parts that are gone to ink. And some of them are artists and they want to collect the ink and make paintings out of it. And others say, oh, well, I want to get more of that growing, and so we'll devote some of that inky stuff, and the crappy stuff, we'll make a slurry out of it. We just put it in a big bucket, break it up in the bucket with water, and then slosh it all around in likely places that it would like to grow in. There was another one somewhere over here. Oh, here's a cup fungus. Here's cup fungus, right? There's two cup fungi there, and then there's a candy cap over there. So that's something you could talk about. Here's the cup, and here's a cup. And sometimes they're hard to see because they're hidden by the leaves. And that's why you have to have your mushroom eyes on. That looks like a leaf, but in reality, this is a cup mushroom. It's totally edible, it just has no flavor to it. And so you can use it to add texture to soups and chop it up and put it in scrambled eggs if you want, whatever. If I pull it up, then I can see the other side of it. And this is beautiful on this particular one. You can see struts like you see on the Notre Dame Cathedral. I just think it looks so cool. What we have here is a hidden little candy cap mushroom. It's one of our most delectable mushrooms that grow all over the East Bay Hills. It's a small mushroom, and not many people knew about it even 10 years ago. It wasn't very well known, but it's getting much more popular today. And I'm going to crack open the gills here. You will see inside of it that it has a skim milk colored sap. And that's an identifying characteristic for this mushroom. Another way you can tell is you look at the surface of it and it's like a newt skin, like you find the newts in salamanders. Salamander has a slick skin, a newt has a rough skin, like a toad does. That's another way to tell. And it has a completely uniform color as opposed to having concentric bands of alternating browns on it. So this is a true candy cap. Smells very good. And then we dry this out till it's crispy, and you can powder it up in a coffee grinder, and we use it as seasoning, and it gives a maple syrup flavor to any kind of fatty food, like wonderful in cheesecakes, candy cap cheesecake, candy cap ice cream. So we have the beginning of our mushroom trail this way. Might not be able to see them at the moment, but this is Candy Cap Alley. We have lots of candy caps up here, and they're blooming. Here we seem to be totally out in the woods, and we are. And right down there, you might be able to see there's the fence, the chain link fence that separates the wild part of the campus from the parking lot that's just on the other side of the fence. That's the Land Hort Department right down there. That convenient for us, just bop right up here and be totally out in the wild, bop right back down there and be totally in the classroom situation with the greenhouses and all the other facilities. We teach people how to cultivate mushrooms, and we teach them all the reasons you would want to cultivate them. In other words, we cook them in class, we go collect them in class, we identify them in class, we make dyes out of them, we make paints out of them, we make spore prints for artwork and for identification. We do grow all the different kinds of mushrooms in all the different ways, so we grow them for the mushrooms that like to grow on mulch and compost and raw cellulose and straw. Those are all saprobic mushrooms. They live on dead stuff. We also grow parasitic mushrooms. We specifically grow corn, so we can inoculate it with wheat lecoche, a special gourmet mushroom that's parasitic on corn. People learn how to grow corn, and if we don't get success on the wheat lecoche, at least they know how to grow sweet corn. But if you have a kitchen and you know something about home canning, and if you don't, we teach that in class, so you not only learn how to grow mushrooms in class, you learn about home canning. You yourself, with your own kitchen or your own backyard, can grow mushrooms without having to worry about any laboratory techniques. But if you want to learn laboratory techniques, they're really called kitchen techniques.